Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, we're making some big changes here in the studio. We're changing audio interfaces. I've been using the Studio Live type interface now since they've been out. I think it's been maybe about 10, 12 years, something along those lines. So can't wait to dive into this Quantum HD8, this new interface that Presonus has come out with. I'm going to tell you why we're making the changes and what we're doing here in the studio. So don't go anywhere. Let's get after it. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ray with Second Chance Rising, and this is the channel that's more than just about our music, but it's about gear reviews and mixing tips and tutorials. And today we're diving into the new Presonus Quantum HD8. I'm going to tell you why that we're changing from the interface that we've been using for so many years and what the advantages of this are going to be for our setup and what the kind of changes that we're making. But let's get this thing unboxed and let's see what we're talking about here. So like a lot of gear here from Sweetwater, we're not sponsored by them, but they're the best place to buy gear by far. It's boxed well. Presonus has got theirs boxed well inside of a boxed inside of another box, wrapped in cellophane, all nice and neat, keeping the moisture out. Kind of start digging down into this thing, and it's a you know, they just do a good job. It's you can tell that the top is well protected. First of all, the chassis, I mean, it is built like a tank. I mean, the first thing you can feel is this thing is it's probably the most rugged feeling piece of outboard gear that I have. Of course, instructions, got some MIDI cables come with it, as well as the USB-C cables, all the cables, everything necessary to hook it up, all comes with it. And also, take a look, when I talked about solid build quality, take a look at the rack ears. This thing is, I mean, it's almost probably a 1/4 inch or maybe a 3/8 inch thick here. I mean, I don't know that I've had anything this solid, so it's not where you can bend these. You know, some of the hardware gear, some of the cheaper gear that I've got, you can almost bend the rack ears, but this, you're not bending this. You can see how thick it is. So very durable build quality. So let's talk about some of the features of the Presonus Quantum HD8. So one of the things, looking here on the front panel, that you can see that's got it's got an input and output jack here. They call this they're reamping. So you got two ins and outs. Now, what if you've watched some of their advertisement videos, you can see that you can actually plug a guitar directly in there. It's got the right correct impedance, and it goes out. You can take that through another amp. You can put that through a pedal board, so you can actually play the part, run that signal out, adjust it onto your pedal board to whatever exact sound you want, the type of delay you want, reverb, whatever you may want to add to that track off your own analog type pedal board, instead of doing that inside of a DAW. Get exactly what you want. So that's a pretty neat feature. I haven't seen that. I wouldn't have even imagined if even thought about doing that. I've always just kind of committed to that going in. Then you have 8 channels, and the way you access each one of those channels is you can just press whichever channel you want. You can do your gain right here. And this has all these channels. Every one of them has 75 decimals of gain, so a lot of gain. So you're not going to need the SM7B that usually requires a cloud lifter or so much like that, like I have here and have used. I guess I can sell this thing now. I don't need it anymore, and we'll show you how that works in just a minute, because it's got an auto gain feature. 48 volt power here for your condenser microphones, and you can actually operate that on each one of them independently. A lot of the interfaces that I've seen out that are similar to this, you know, you activate like 4 channels at a time, or a bank of channels at a time. So you can do this on this Presonus 1 channel at a time. This is your auto gain feature. So let's talk about how that works. So I got my SM7B here. Let's just see how good it works. I'm going to press channel 1. I'm going to hit auto gain, and I'm just going to continue to talk into it. And you can see here it's red, so it's showing that it's working. And we're just going to continue to let that go through, see how long this takes. All right, so it says it is complete, so that's pretty cool. And look at there, it's adjusted the gain at 62 decimal, so it didn't even require the whole entire 75, so it's plenty of space on that. And you can see on that we're getting about peaking at about 12. I'm about 8 inches from the mic, maybe 10 inches. It's getting about 18 to 12, peaking at 12 decimals, so right in my sweet spot where I like to record. So that is pretty cool right there. I haven't tried this like using that feature on the on like the whole drum kit and doing the auto gain staging there, but man, what about a time saver on that? I mean, set the drummer behind the kit, set those to auto gain. Even if you've got to tweak it a little bit, I believe this is going to get us pretty close, so that's going to be a pretty good time saver, a pretty good feature on this Quantum type unit. And I think some other interfaces have that now, but I don't know. Technology really is coming a long way. You have your main meters here on the Presonus unit itself. You also have all your individual channels right here. You can also, you can see your outputs here, your ADAT inputs, ADAT outputs, and then there's some other menus that you can dial through that as well as do it on the screen on your interface. You got two headphone outputs. You can set those to two different things if you like, a Q mix or a regular mix. And then you got your mute button as well. So a lot of features on this Quantum to talk about. Now the main reason why we're changing our interface is because I had well, let me just play this little clip from an earlier video. Experiment with that. Now the way I have that ran into my interface is that I can bring that into the DAW and use that just like a plug-in, in and out. Studio One has a pipeline plug-in, so I can use it just like a plug-in, and I can print it if I like what I hear, and I don't have to commit to it if I don't want to, so that's pretty nice. So, well, the XT pipeline plugin did not work well for me. I could not get it to work. I spent months communicating back and forth to Presonus. I was on the forums. A couple of their beta testers from Presonus tried to help me with it. They got my routing right finally on the Studio Live where I got signal, but for some reason I had 6 decimals of gain signal returning, and I couldn't never get the pipeline plug-in calibrated correctly. So if it was going out to a compressor, it wasn't getting an accurate signal. So it was just got fed up with it, said, hey, I'm going to make a change after all these years, and I think I'm going to like it. We're going to put some more videos of some more things that we're going to be unboxing. The second reason why I wanted to go with this unit is that, as you can see on the back here, here's what we've got. We've got 2 in ADAT outs and 2 ADAT outs. I'm sorry, 2 in, 2 out. You know what I'm talking about. It operates off a USB-C, which from all the reviews I've seen and what I've tested so far is nearly as fast as Thunderbolt. So latency, I don't believe is going to be a problem. Also, you have here the MIDI, and you got your cables that come with that, and in and out for the world clock. And here's one of the main reasons that sold me on this interface is that we have 10 line outs. So 2 will go on this unit, will go to my main monitors, and then we have 8 others that I'm going to run in and out on some different groups of hardware. So here in Studio 825, we're going to begin to go to more of a hybrid setup. Now I had bought a 2A, and I bought a Warm 73 preamp that we've been recording with it going straight into the interface, but I want to use some of these in a loop, some bus compressors, some 1176s, and some other outboard gear that I couldn't never get to work quite right with XT and the Studio Live interface. So this is going to allow me to take that hardware out and then back into this unit, and I got plenty of options with the ins and outs here. Then you've got 8 regular XLR ins, combo jacks with 1/4-inch TRS inputs as well. So those are line in. So I want to use 2 of these together, maybe even eventually 3, because we like to, if you've seen some of our earlier videos, we like to have everything mic'd up and ready to go when we record. So this is good. I've used to 32 inputs and 16 outs on the Studio Live. If I go with 3 of these units, it'll end up giving me 24. or maybe a couple more extra with the line ends on the front. So I think this is really going to fit our needs. We can still come into the studio, have the drum kit already mic'd up, stereo mics already mic'd up, room mics, acoustics, different electrics, different amplifiers already mic'd. So all we have to do is to be productive is to turn that channel on and activate it into the DAW, and then we'll be ready to go and record. Got a couple different options that we're going to be talking about. So pretty excited to go to this setup. Also, since we don't have the Studio Live 3 for an audio interface controller anymore, I'm going to go with a different controller, so I'll be doing another video on that. So if you're interested to see this conversion on how we're moving from a studio that we were virtually 100% in the box to more of a hybrid setup, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button, and you'll see what we're going to do. Might be interesting. Hey, love to hear your tips as we make this transition along. If you've done this before, going to a hybrid setup, mistakes you've made, the things that you've done that were great, the things that are working, the things that weren't working. So this might be a great learning curve for us, and be able to receive some of your tips, as well as hopefully that we can show some other people that are trying to get into this method of recording a little bit of a pathway to that. Hey, hope that you enjoyed this video. We love you and God loves you. Keep looking up. We'll see you next time.